So that's on the financial goals.
That's on the financial. So there's the bit of growth in terms of brand and marketing. The growth in brand and marketing is a goal that each and every company should focus on, because business is based on sales and marketing.
True.
Each and every year, you should find ways of expounding your growth. Last year, you were not doing social media marketing.
Right.
This year, introduce something like that. Last year, you were not going, you were not going door to door and telling people about your business. This year, bring that. Yeah. So that at least you grow. You say that my business has been known just around Changamwe, but I want it to grow so that even somebody can come from Mariakani and come and buy something here in Changamwe. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So also we need to have growth goals.
Growth goals. How do you want to grow? How do you want to expound? Do you want to still exist in Kenya, or do you want to expound in the neighboring country? Are you in only one county, expound to another county? Yes.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe you're following up closely what we are discussing this morning, simply because it's quite helpful for those of you who want to venture into business. And this also comes at a time where we are facing a lot in terms of unemployment, and the government, together with other stakeholders, have urged the youths to engage into doing business. And this is one of the key matters that most youths are looking forward to, and now we want to help them to understand how can they craft their goals in line with making them achievable in 2022, and in line also with making sure that their businesses become successful. We are done looking at the first few goals, that is of course financial goals and also the growth goals, which are hand in hand, and it calls for a lot here. I want to take a short break here, Bon Emmanuel, but before then, there's this question about growth. And when we see around, we have businesses that have quite grown, and we may, envy to be and have businesses like those. And for the young who are now getting into business for the very first time, how does it take and how long does it take for it to for the business to grow? And also, you as the entrepreneur, what do you need to have for your business to grow and reach that level?
The main basis of growth is commitment. There's a difference between setting a goal and being committed to the cause of the goal. Because most people set goals. Big companies, you see them thriving. Why? They set a goal and they put all their resources and efforts to making sure that the goal is achieved. After the goal is achieved, you as the customer also will see how the company is growing, because the growth has been achieved.
Right.
Don't set a goal and fail to commit to it. For example, you, Shadrach, you are committed to becoming one of the best journalists here, right?
Right.
Each and every day by 7, you are here doing your show. At no one day, even if you don't feel like it, you won't wake up here. So you have to wake up each and every and be committed to that cause, that each and every day I have to create a routine. By 7, I have to be at work.
Right.
So many people lack that.
Commitment.
Commitment to the cause. If I say I want to sell 50,000 bags of maize this month, I'll start by committing to it, that I'll commit 10,000, I do the first week.
Right.
10,000, I do the second week.
Right.
Like that. So that each and every day you feel engaged with your visions and your goals.
Right.
That will make them achievable.
Very true.
Yeah.
I want you to hold that thought. When we come back, we'll be looking at more concerning achieving, or rather setting achievable business goals in 2022. And I do believe also, ladies and gentlemen, you are taking up some bit of notes that will be quite helpful to you, simply because we are handling matters about business today, together with my guest, that is Mr. Emmanuel Maywewu, who, as you can hear him say, and is quite vast in terms of the experience and the knowledge in doing business. Time for us to take our first breather here on our second segment of the show. When we come back, we'll be digging deeper into setting up goals and how we can achieve, and also making your business grow. When we are talking about setting up goals, we have looked at, setting up financial goals, where you did mention that it's quite key for you to sit down and analyze how you want your finances to be, and also your growth goals, how do you want to expand. Now, after the two, do we have any other goals left?
Yes. Another one is customer goals. Probably in a year, you are doing 10 customers or 20. How will you expound to 30?
Right.
How will you make them reach 50? So if right now you have 10 customers that you are sure each and every time they take your product, try and expound and say that by the end of this year, I'll need 20 more. They become 30. And make sure it's a realistic goal. Don't say you are now 10 customers and you want to get 100 in this year. No. Go step by step. Yeah.
And when you mention about customer goals here, it's also another matter that is quite complex. And listening to you, it feels to me that the ease of doing business is not that ease. It goes a lot. It takes a lot.
It takes a lot, because the customer that will enjoy your service will bring another customer. So the 10 that you have to increase them, so that they can bring referrals. And one of the best business strategies is referrals. Yes.
Right.
Making sure that you serve your customer right, so that they can go bring another. That's where you can grow.
Right.
In terms of customer numbers.
And your network would be expanded.
Yeah.
And when we are talking about getting these goals, do we sit down and write them on a paper and just leave there and say, I've got these goals, let me start working with them?
Well, for a goal to be realistic, it has to be specific. And being specific is making sure you write it down. At times, just people narrate, I want to do this and this and this. But in real sense, tell them to write what they want.
Right.
They really don't mean. But the moment you write it down, it becomes easier to actualize it than rather just saying it out loud without writing it.
Right. Something
written can help you even come back and say that I wrote this and I have achieved it. Yeah.
Right. Now, after we've gotten and pulled our customers together and we're done with that goal, what next?
Employee. The employees, in terms of now employee goals. So you have 5 employees or 2 employees. How do you grow in terms of employee numbers? And how do you grow in terms of employee capacity? Where you motivate your employees so that they can produce more. You can still have 2 employees, but make sure that you concentrate on the employees by giving them incentives. If they do a good job, you say, today I'll buy you lunch. They'll feel motivated to work even more.
Right.
They can produce more being the 2 only employees in the company by just making sure you have incentives for them. Yes. Right. Encourage them. Probably if they live far, you can provide transport. At least they can feel that the company is looking at their needs.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are telling me, like, for instance, the employees are also part and parcel of the pillars of the business itself.
Yes.
So,
and as much as you focus on the financial and the growth and the customer, you have to focus on the employees. The last one is the social. A social growth or a social goal is where a company has to be connected with its community. If a company, its only focus is profit, then it's a failure already.
Right.
Because you have to have CSR activities where one day as a company, you just decide we are going to give free information to people out there about and during that day we'll give out gifts, that will make sure that the society or the social a community around your company feels that you are part and parcel of them and they are part and parcel of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. Quite very interesting. And that calls for also, coming together as a community and as a business entity to try and achieve that goal. You cannot achieve it by yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And when we are mentioning about, because you had mentioned earlier about commitment, and also I want a commitment itself, we've looked at it, and it's quite interesting that commitment is key. But there's this aspect of, when you're talking about, yes, you may have a business and you have employees together with you, and there is that oneness and there's that closeness and the cooperation. There are also aspects that are key when we want to grow the business. Maybe you can expand on how we go about with the cooperation and the working.
I can specify them into 3 on how to set it. Because if I understand your question, is how do you set these goals now to become practicable?
Right.
The first issue that I've been specifying of is being specific. Write the goals down. If it's financial goals, write them down. If it's customer goals, write them down. Then, are they measurable? You said that I want to have 20 customers at the end of the year. By the first quarter of the year, after 3 months, have you even gained 5? Come back with your team, the employees, all those. Come back again and ask yourselves ask yourselves the question that we say that we will be here by a specific time. Are we there? What has gone wrong? And there is one analysis that helps very many businesses grow. It's called the SWOT analysis, where you view the strengths of the company, you view the weaknesses of the company, you view the opportunities, and you view the threats. Where your strength lies is where your threats come. And where your weaknesses are is where you can exploit the opportunities.
True.
Yes. So make sure that you also utilize the business analysis available so that you can be practicable with the business. Yeah.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you've just heard from him. It's the SWOT. That is the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and
threats.
Very true. Now, when we are talking about all these forms and types of goals we want to achieve in 2022, and one burning question in the minds of most people who are watching us right now is that how do you feel currently in 2022 as we've just begun? How do you feel the possibility and the probability of having these goals being achieved?
The probability is that first, it's been predicted that the economy is going to rise by around 5%. So that is something that shows that there is a bright future ahead. And also, government incentives may be produced because during political years, most governments always want to, I can say, they want to attract the voter. So there are incentives that will be there. So be ready to see the opportunities and grab them at that particular time. Don't see an opportunity and procrastinate. By the way, that's one of the issues that faces so many businesses. They like pushing things forward. You're supposed to make a deadline by today, but then you push it to tomorrow. It comes tomorrow, you're like, no, let's push it another day.
Procrastination.
Yes. You're supposed to make 10 deliveries today, you do 5 and say...
How do we kill that? Looking at also the youths themselves who are supposed and are being pushed to get into business, and procrastination is part and parcel of that.
Being proactive. Let me give you an example. There's a friend of mine who was saying each and every time, I want to open a company, I want to do this and this and this, I want to do this and this and this. Last year, I heard him saying the same. This year, he was saying the same. I was like, no, brother, we are not going the same channel this same year. Here's a piece of paper. Here's a pen. Write what you're saying. And by the end of that day, we had opened that company he was still procrastinating about. It's not that people can't do it. You're just having this habit of pushing forward, of which if you say, I want to cook, don't say it when you're seated. No. Pick the sufuria, put water, start cooking. Don't say without doing. Start doing what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, you're telling me ni kusema na kutenda.
Ukisema sahi Shedrack twende town, tunafaa tushuke hapa chini twende tutafute matatu twende town.
Right.
Si eti tuseme twende town alafu tunaendelea kubangaiza hapa. Hapana.
Right. I want to take another short break here. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting interesting simply because we're trying to analyze and help you out in understanding how you can come up with achievable goals in doing business in 2022. For those of you who exactly want to venture into business, I do believe that you are grasping some bit of content that is quite helpful of you as well. We're now taking a short break. When we come back, we'll be finishing up on that and many more, what you can look forward to 2022, how can things get along in terms of doing business as well, and also whether if this is the right time to venture into business. Don't go too far. Like you just told me here,
yes,
we might be good at writing up, being specific, but at the end of the day, we find out that these goals are not achievable, and we have not achieved them, and we have no clue how we are supposed to even achieve them. Why are some of the goals not achievable?
Well, at times you might think you have narrowed down your goal to a specific thing, but in real sense, it isn't specific. Yes. Now, example. By the end of the year, I have to make 500,000. After 3 months, have you made 100? So you have to narrow down that, yes, the end goal is 500,000 a year. But in a month, I have to probably divide that amount with 12.
Right.
And make sure that each and every month, I have a certain 50,000 or 100,000. I have to make that. And I have to make it a reality by making sure each and every day I commit to the task. So as much as you are specific, you have to also go down in line to also measure yourself. After the 3 months, have you achieved what you wanted?
Okay.
After April, you'll be looking back saying that, yes, here we have achieved, here we haven't, here we have to do. And the moment a goal is achieved, make sure you celebrate it. The small achievements, celebrate it. I was giving you an example here. Somebody says, I want to be a renowned businessman in Mombasa. What is the first thing you do? Start any business, even if it's selling juice. You have to start somewhere. You have the bigger picture, but you have to start in the small and capable way that you have. So, as much as you're specific, be specific enough.
Be specific enough.
Yes.
And you've just mentioned something here that yes, maybe our end of year goal is to get 500,000. We need to try and look. We are now, maybe we've finished the first quarter of the year. How much have we? So that calls for close monitoring and following up, and subsequent looking into it.
Yes.
So we should not wait for the end goal. We should just continue. Yeah.
Give yourself deadlines, of which the deadline of the year is 500,000, and it's December, right? But then there are intervals or intermediate goals that by the end of the first quarter, our employees should be 10. You start doing recruitment if you say by the end of the year, we should have 10 new employees. By the first quarter, you should have done probably interviews. You should have found out potential employees that you can have.
Right.
So break them down into relevant goals. 500,000 in a year sounds like a very bigger goal, but 10,000 in a day sounds very achievable. Yeah.
Right. And that is one reason as to why most of people do not get to achieve their goals, being the fact that they are not being specific enough. Right. Another mistake that we do,
of which I was supposed to say this as we started. Goals are attached to values. Goals are attached to values. If you can't make a goal having a value, then you're missing the whole point.
right?
That is, you also have to engage your heart in saying a goal. If you have a specific goal, make sure that yourself, and it's worth your time and efforts to achieve that goal. Don't just put a hypothetical goal by just saying, I just want to achieve this. And really, you've just uttered words, where else you don't mean it. You have to mean it when creating.
From inside.
Yes, because probably, I'll give this example. You want to attain a certain routine in your job. All employees should be reaching here at around 7. So the value is the time, the time and the discipline of you getting to work by 7.
Right.
That's a goal that is attached to the value.
Right.
Yes.
Very true. So you must know what value does your goal need
Yes.
for you to align with it.
Yes.
Very true. Now, as we wrap it up now, you know.
Can I say the last one?
Oh, there's a last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to support it. You can't just put a goal out there without support. Let's say I want to sell 10,000 eggs, and you can't support it with even a customer who wants 5 eggs. You see? That's very unrealistic. So there are things that have to be there to support your goal.
Right.
You want to attain 10,000 produces. Have you done? Are there employees that can be able to produce that much? Yes.
Right. Is this year, this time, the best time to venture into business?
Yes. And probably I can outline 5 types of businesses that you can at least enter. And agriculture,
Right.
storage, real estate, wholesale, and the last one is transport.
Okay.
Those 5, right now, the economy is 24-hour, so those are there and they are ready to be supported.
You said agriculture?
Agriculture, transport, storage.
Storing what?
Picture this. Many people right now are selling products online. So they have specifically places where they store their goods.
Right.
Their goods aren't stored in their houses, no. They have storage facilities. So after you purchase the good, they'll go take it at the storage facility and
Bring it to you.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's agriculture, transport, storage, real estate.
And wholesale and construction.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. By so doing, pick one and see which one works well with you.
Yeah.
Mr. Emmanuel, if somebody has listened to you so keenly and wishes to get some bit of advice about business, where can you find, where can they find you, and which company do you work with as well?
Well, which will I address?
Number 3.
Yes, so as I had said earlier, my name is Emmanuel Maweu. I'm a CEO of Maswabe Solutions East Africa Limited. We are a company that deals with various issues, but mainly if you are asking anything about this topic today, you can get me via 0710-379-418. I'll repeat it, 0710-379-418. You can as well contact us through that, or you can reach our pages, Maswabe Solutions, or our Facebook pages, my personal Facebook page, that is Emmanuel Maweu. Thank you very much.